As XRP utilization goes up, what stops them from leasing their XRP to keep price low and stable, and why would we trust them not to dilute? This is a common question for people that enter the space that don't understand the escrow mechanism or why you would actually want that. I know people view that as a bad thing, that there is a large treasure trove, for lack of a better term, of XRP that's held by Ripple. They escrowed it in 2017. And what that means is they've locked it up. It has a time lock provision, and you can, basically lock up a certain amount of XRP until a certain date, and then it would be released to whatever wallet you point it to. They escrowed 50 billion XRP, with 1 billion XRP being released each month. So, they sell what they need to fund their operations of their business, and also, like you mentioned here, maintain price stability of the asset so that they can continue to trial it before it does become, significantly more valuable. And that is why it will be a high stable value. If it's transmitting value and there's that much settlement on a consistent basis, there's liquidity there to be able to facilitate that, then it's almost backed by, it really will be backed by the volume of trade globally. I believe that the BIS will designate XRP a tier 1 asset as riskless once it's backed by global markets and is a high stable value. And then it can be held as collateral for derivatives and for other things. There's not going to be anywhere near as much XRP as I think most people believe on the open market to facilitate settlement. And people aren't going to want to let go of it either. So in order to facilitate transactions, it's going to have to be very little XRP. So the price has to be substantially higher. And they're going to have an incentive to hold it and not continue to have it float around. All of that will drive significant scarcity for the asset. But all that to say, the amount that Ripple releases onto the market, I think, will continue to go down and down and down as the price goes up and up and up, because they won't have to release as much in order to be able to maintain that price stability. And that's why I also don't think XRP will be a fixed price. That's how I think that this will function. And as more liquidity in GDP and we see growth, and with the agentic payments and that whole economy that's going to come online, and us colonizing other planets if Elon gets his way, there's not enough as it sits today. So you need some way to increase that. So there will never be more than 100 billion XRP, and there's less and less every single day because of the burn mechanism on the network. But if you wanted to maintain price stability at certain levels, you would bring a little bit more onto the market, and that's what that escrow is for. And I don't know that I exactly answered your question, but hopefully that gives you a little more context to think through things.